I wanted so badly to be seen as a nice person. I had an image of myself that I wanted to live up to. And to me, what that meant was making sure that everyone around me was comfortable, I was overexerting myself in how I helped people, in how I decided to give people allowances to do stuff, in how I decided to expand my boundaries. At some point, I don't think I even had boundaries anymore. I was a people pleaser. I just wanted people to see me as a nice person, I just wanted to be seen as nice. Who doesn't want to be seen as a nice person? But one thing that I would not have been prepared for was how it backfired in a lot of ways. And that is the motivation for this video. Hi, welcome. I'm Jess. In today's video, I want to talk about being the nice person. I've wanted to talk about this for a while, but I just didn't know how to present it without making myself sound like I was encouraging wickedness or encouraging being mean, because that is not what this video is about. But I think I finally have it together. And of course, this video comes from my experience with being a people pleaser and trying so hard to be a nice person. I think it's really hard to explain to people who are not people pleasers why it is so difficult to not be a people pleaser, especially if you're wired that way. Just looking at you like, why do you want so badly to make everybody like you? Like, why do you want so badly to help everybody that comes around you? Why do you have no boundaries? I think for me, it is more of the fulfillment that comes with helping people out. It gives you this kind of satisfaction when you help people, when you see people do well because of what you've done for them or what you've helped them do. It gives you joy. It's like it gives you a sense of fulfillment, right? And it was so draining. I was so mentally fatigued most of the time because I just couldn't fight that urge. It was like an innate urge inside of me. Like, oh, someone asks you to do something, you have to do more because you are a nice person. Yeah, that is a problem. Now, the first thing I'll say to anybody who is watching this video and can definitely relate to everything I've said so far is that you cannot determine how people see you, right? You can't control people's perception of you. The minute you absorb it, you fully understand that fact. It's going to get a lot easier to do the rest of what I'm going to say in this video. So that's the first step, okay? Understanding that no matter what you do, there'll be people out there who just won't like you. They don't need to have a reason, okay? They just see you and they don't like you. Stop trying to go out of your way to convince people who are hell-bent on not liking you to like you. When I realized that no matter how much I did to please people, no matter how much I went out of my way to do certain stuff for people, I could not satisfy everybody. Someone somewhere is going to have a problem with you. My darling, Jesus Christ came to earth and people had a problem with him, and he was the literal Son of God. If that could happen to him, then who am I to complain that a few people don't like me? Do you understand? Being a people pleaser drained me emotionally, especially because sometimes I would go out of my way to do certain things for people and they would never return that energy. But it was almost like I would run 1,000 miles for somebody and that person would not even lift a finger to do anything for me. People pleasing will leave you tired. It will leave you mentally fatigued, emotionally exhausted. Trying your best to keep up with this nice person persona that you've had for God knows how long will cause people to take advantage of you a lot. A lot of people will pick up on the fact that you don't seem to have boundaries, whether consciously or subconsciously, whether intentionally or unintentionally. It will happen a lot of times. As human beings, I think a lot of us are selfish in nature. So when people pick up on the fact that you have this desire to please people, this urge, this compulsion almost to please people around you, they will take advantage. One other thing I've noticed about people pleasers, myself inclusive, is that they're non-confrontational. You don't like fights. Arguing with people means most of the time setting boundaries, telling them what you like, what you don't like. And to you, you feel like if there's an argument, that means it makes you a bad person, because why are you even arguing with the person? Like, why are you creating this tension? Why are you picking a fight? You don't want to be seen as a person that picks fights all the time. And this part is something that I struggled with for a very long time, and it still rears its ugly head every once in a while. Like, I really don't like fights. I really hate fights. I hate tension. I hate disagreements, right? But I've also come to understand that when my boundaries are being crossed, it is inevitable. that there will be an argument or a confrontation. It doesn't have to be, oh, throwing things around, shouting and screaming at the top of my voice. No, it doesn't have to get to the point of violence. Please, I am not endorsing violence here. Sit down like two mature adults, or if it's more than two adults, just sit down, have a conversation about whatever it is you want to converse about. Let the person know these are my boundaries. Okay, this is where you overstepped. I don't like that. Please don't do that next time. And it doesn't take you anything more than that. And one thing about this whole non-confrontational shenanigans is that once you do it that first time and the person is like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that was a boundary for you, I wouldn't do it again, you just feel this sense of relief. It's like, finally. Finally, like, you're able to get that off your chest. And what usually happens with people pleasers is that you tend to take a lot of trash. You know, you take a lot of things that you should not take, things that you don't like from people, and you never voice it out to them. They don't even know that these are your boundaries, so they just keep doing it because you never told them. And what happens is that you end up carrying that anger. It's like, I'm so angry that this person crossed this boundary. Like, why would they do that? You can go to your other friend and rant and shout and, you know, scatter everywhere. But once that person is there, it's like, oh, I don't want to fight. It is not a fight. Like I said, you can have a civil conversation about boundaries with that person. Sometimes people would take that information and be like, I am so sorry, I will not do that again. But then when you have a conversation with someone and they're like, I don't care, like, that's not my business, your boundaries are not my business, and you call that person a friend, my darling, I think you should reevaluate your friends, okay? But if there's one thing I've learned so far, it's that simply saying, please don't do that again, I don't like it. It's so freeing, it's so simple. You don't have to make that person feel bad or guilt trip them. Just say what you don't like, and then that person's response would prompt whatever comes after. Ultimately, the point of this video is not to encourage you to be unkind to anybody. Be kind to people, okay? Be a good person, but also know that good people have boundaries. The things that you don't like should be clearly communicated to people. That doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you a human being who has things that they don't like. However, this whole video is not to sell you the lie that you can wake up tomorrow morning and suddenly have boundaries, because that's not gonna happen, okay? If you've been a people pleaser for most of your life, I'm not gonna lie to you, sweetheart, it's not going to happen just because you watched this video. I'm just going to tell you some things that I did to help myself with that people pleasing character. When I realized how draining it was for me trying to please people, I decided to limit my people pleasing tendencies to my closest people, my family, my closest friends, because with them I was sure of getting some sort of energy back, and I was also sure to a certain extent of not being taken advantage of, right? These are people that love me, these are people who will always have my back and whose backs I will always have. I think it's been working out fine for me so far. It's not like I'm being mean to anybody that's not like in my close circle of friends. That's not what I'm saying, please. I did not say you should go and be mean to everybody that's not in your close circle of friends, but I just conserved my energy for those people. And it helped, you know, as an introvert who runs on a battery for literally almost everything, social battery, emotional battery, everything battery, I really needed that. Like, it really, really helped me. So yeah, that was how I did it. You know, I decided to just limit the amount of people I would go above and beyond for. I just wasn't humanly capable of doing that for every single person in my life. And once I came to that realization, I was like, yo, I really need to conserve my energy for my people, like my family, my close friends, you know, the people who are so close to my heart. They deserve that energy. But I spread myself so thin to the point where it started to drain me. And yeah, that was one decision that I made that has really helped so far. I hope that at least one person who watches this video can relate and pick one or two things that they can apply to their lives that would help them. I hope so much that it helps you. I have 2 videos on your screen where I sit and talk about stuff that's heavy on my mind, just like this video. Do check them out, and I'll see you in my next one. Adios.